Picture this. You're in your mid-40s. It's a quiet evening. The house is calm in a way it never used to be. No kids running around, no rushing out the door, just silence. You're sitting at your kitchen table holding an envelope that represents years of discipline, years of sacrifice, years of being responsible. Inside that envelope is a check, not a small one, a check big enough to close a chapter of your life. You walk to the mailbox, you drop it in, you close the lid, and for the first time in decades, you exhale. The mortgage is gone. No more monthly payment. No more bank owning a piece of your home. You tell yourself, I finally made it. I'm safe now. That feeling is real. That relief is powerful, and that's exactly why this decision is so dangerous. Because safety that feels good isn't always safety that is good. Fast forward a few months. Nothing dramatic, no explosion, no crisis montage. Just life quietly shifting. A layoff at work, a slowdown in business, a health issue that keeps you out longer than expected. Your income drops, then it stops. You open your bank app, and suddenly that calm disappears. Because the cash isn't there. You remember why you used it to kill the mortgage. You turned liquid money into drywall, insulation, and concrete. You still own a house worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, but the grocery store doesn't accept equity. The electric company doesn't care that your deed is clean. And the mechanic doesn't take pride as payment. You're sitting inside a valuable asset and feeling trapped. This is what nobody explains when they tell you to just pay it off. My name is Salvo, and I spend way too much time thinking about why decisions that feel responsible often make people quietly fragile. If you're aggressively paying down your mortgage, if you feel guilty holding low-interest debt, or if you believe being debt-free automatically means being secure, you need to hear this. Because today we're not talking about feelings. We're talking about math, flexibility, and survival. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Paying off your house early is rarely a financial decision. It's an emotional one. It feels clean. It feels adult. It feels like winning. But finance doesn't reward emotions. It rewards options. And when you rush to eliminate your mortgage, you trade flexibility for comfort. That trade is far more expensive than most people realize. Let's talk about liquidity, the thing nobody makes motivational videos about. When you send extra principal payments to the bank, that money doesn't sit somewhere accessible. It disappears. It becomes equity. Equity doesn't pay your bills. Equity doesn't buy groceries. Equity doesn't save you in a crisis. Equity only matters under perfect conditions. And here's the rule: banks never break. They lend money to people who don't need it. Lose your job? Credit tightens. Housing market dips. Home equity access dries up. So the moment you actually need your money, it's locked. That's real risk. Debt is not the enemy. Illiquidity is. Most people define risk as owing money. That definition is backwards. Risk is not having options when life changes. Now compare two people. Person A owns their home outright and has $25,000 in cash. Person B has a mortgage but $500,000 invested. Who sleeps better during a recession? The one with cash. Cash buys time. Time buys choices. Choices create safety. A paid-off house gives you shelter. Liquidity gives you control. Now let's talk about opportunity cost. The wealth you never see because you killed it early. Every extra dollar you send to your mortgage earns a return equal to your interest rate. If your mortgage is 4%, that's your investment return. Ask yourself honestly, would you lock money into an account earning 4% that you can't access easily, that punishes you in emergencies when history offers better alternatives? No. But that's exactly what aggressive mortgage payoff is. You're choosing certainty over growth and paying a premium for emotional relief. This is where leverage, like the word people fear, quietly works for disciplined people. Banks borrow cheap. They lend higher. They keep the spread. You can do the same. If your mortgage costs 4% and your investments earn 8% over time, that difference compounds. Not for a year, not for 5 years, for decades. By paying off your mortgage early, you destroy that spread. You fire leverage, one of the most powerful tools available to people who control their behavior. Then there's inflation. Inflation quietly destroys the value of money every single year. A fixed-rate mortgage is locked in today's dollars, dollars that will be weaker tomorrow. your payment stays the same. Your income usually rises. In 20 years, today's payment feels small. In 30 years, it feels irrelevant. The bank lent you strong dollars and gets paid back in weaker ones. That's an advantage for you. By paying off your mortgage early, you reverse that advantage. You pay the bank with valuable dollars now instead of cheap dollars later. You protect them from inflation. That's not safety. That's generosity. And here's the psychological lie nobody admits. People say, once the house is paid off, I'll invest aggressively. Most don't. Lifestyle expands. Spending creeps in. The discipline disappears. The mortgage was never the problem. Behavior was. Ironically, keeping the mortgage often enforces better financial discipline because it forces intentionality. There's also an asset protection angle people ignore. A fully paid off house is obvious, visible, attractive in lawsuits. A leveraged home looks unappealing. The bank technically owns most of it. Your real wealth stays liquid, flexible, and less visible. This isn't fear, it's strategy. So when does paying off a mortgage early make sense? Only in two situations. One, when the interest rate is genuinely high and beats market returns. Two, when someone lacks discipline and would otherwise spend the money. For disciplined investors with low-rate mortgages, debt is not the enemy. Illiquidity is. We were taught to chase zero. Zero debt, zero leverage, zero risk. But zero is fragile. Zero flexibility, zero options, zero runway. A paid-off house feels like freedom, but real freedom isn't eliminating payments. It's owning time, and time is bought with liquidity. So here's the shift. Stop sending extra to the mortgage. Redirect it into a separate investment account. Name it something intentional, your freedom fund. Let it grow. That account protects you in emergencies, gives you leverage and opportunity, and quietly outperforms emotional comfort. A paid-off house is a trophy. Liquidity is armor, and I'd rather be protected than proud.